Alright. So today is the day. 100 kilometers from Florence to Faenza. Right now we are waiting for the train to get going. We are in Faenza and we are going to Florence by train, and then we are coming back running. So the race is going to start at 3 p.m. and right now it's a waiting game really. It's gonna take us 2 hours to get to Florence, so we'll be there around 11:30. And yeah, so in terms of how to manage diabetes in this situation, the only mantra I have here is to control the adrenaline, the stress, and maybe don't default to just doing things out of the stress of the day. And so I woke up at 6:30. I gave a large pre-bolus and ate a small breakfast. I dosed for 50 carbs and I only ate 30 carbs. That's because I know that the adrenaline is going to raise my blood sugars, and indeed I am at 168 at the moment. So the plan is to maybe give another shot of insulin, like a very small one, right before, sorry, not right before the race, but like around probably 4 hours before the race. So that will be my last dose of insulin, rapid insulin at least, and just to have some buffer to eat something small before the race, like a couple of rice cakes or something, and then the running will take care of the rest. So I didn't decrease my basal insulin by too much, because that would be I rely on basal insulin to help me handle the glucose through the race. I'm going to eat around 12 gels or something more even. And so yeah, I still need some insulin, but I don't want rapid insulin because that would mean tanking, and I don't want to tank, So yeah, that's the plan. So right now just stay calm, breathing through the nose, and that's gonna be it. I will see you in Florence, and then at the starting line of this wonderful race. I'm pumped. All right, so we are here at the start. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes from now. It's 1:30 p.m. and yeah. So fun fact, I actually wanted to give an extra bit of insulin, but I forgot the recharge, and I have no insulin. It's finished. It's so I have to wait until the end of the race, get back to the hotel, and get my other pen. That's fun. Some added complication, but my blood sugars are sitting at 150, and I have some insulin on board, some a little bit. And I didn't plan to take more anyway. It was just more like a safety measure, but it is what it is. So I will eat a couple of rice cakes just before the start to avoid spikes, and then the run will take care of the glucose. So yeah, it's quite warm, so we'll have to stay hydrated. That's the challenge. I will see you through the race. So now we're running uphill. Quick update, it's kilometer number 6 or 7, and funny because the moment I started running, my blood sugars went from 140, perfect, to 270 adrenaline. So now water, easy pace, and slowly we stick to them until they come down, and then we start eating. Easy. Don't stress. See you later. So, kilometer 43, I believe, and things are not smooth at all. Look at this. And I mean, if I switch the view, you can tell the exact moment I started running. So we started at 3 p.m. and until 2:55 p.m. I was 140. At 3:10 p.m. I was 270, like that. And now it's been 45k, so almost 27 miles, I believe. And I ate 1/5 of the glucose that I was supposed to eat. So this spike is definitely not glucose, because I've been literally drinking water, some Coke, but very tiny amounts. And by this time I was supposed to eat like 200 and something grams of carbs, because it's 5 hours and 51 minutes into the race. But no, I only ate, I believe, 100, and still I cannot bring it down. This is very frustrating because physically I feel good. I mean, I know that I can physically I know that I have 100 kilometers in the leg. It's not that problem. It's just that I cannot produce power through my muscles in this condition. And so what I'm doing is I let the CGM readings come down. They were previously 207 with an arrow down. I ate 10 grams of glucose and still I'm at 270. So I don't know what to do. I think I don't have rapid insulin with me, so no insulin. I think I will take 10 to 20% of my normal Lantus dose, basal insulin, so at least I have some coverage of some kind. But then at some point I will need to eat, because I still have 60k to go. So that's it. But right now I'm managing the pace. I'm inserting walking intervals. Right now it's very steep uphill, so yeah, so maybe my legs are going to burn more, my muscles are going to be more engaged, so maybe the glucose, you know, I can take it down a little bit, bring it down a little bit. But yeah, it's frustrating, but I will get to the end, even if that means walking the full thing. Fuck it. Okay, it's 10:40 p.m., almost 11. Blood sugars are skyrocketing again, but I have 50k to go. I gave 6 units of Lantus. Well, 6 units doesn't make sense. It's 1/3 of my dose, almost. And yeah, now I'm going to eat some pasta with salt, because I need energy. So screw the blood sugars, and then, you know, running through the night. Pasta, coffee. Doesn't get more Italian than this. Kilometer 90. I forgot to vlog anything. I was just focused. And yeah, here is the dawn. My blood sugar just skyrocketed all the way. So 100 kilometers above 250, which is tough. But you know, I managed the pace. Ate like a small fraction of whatever I was supposed to eat. Yeah, made it somehow. Now let's enjoy the last 10, and then we arrive. So the race came to an end. I'm talking to you 5 hours after my arrival. I arrived at 6 a.m. and I went straight home, trying to get like 1 hour of sleep, which I didn't. because I drank way too much coffee during the race, just to stay up, and have some energy to replace the glucose that I was not eating. And yeah, as you can see here, they are taking away all the finish line and everything. And yeah, I just wanted to wrap up the experience. It was for sure, I think, one of the most, probably the toughest day ever for me as a diabetic, because I cannot really explain to myself what went wrong, and why my blood sugars were in range for 12 hours before the race, and then the moment I started to run, they jumped from 140 to 270, having eaten 2 rice cakes. So that's curious, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, what followed? Well, for sure, I made a big mistake. Was not even intentional, but I forgot the replacement for my insulin, and so I didn't have any backup rapid insulin with me, so I couldn't, use any of it. I had my basal insulin, the Lantus, and so during the race in the second half, where I felt, the need to get some insulin in the system somehow, I injected insulin, but again, it was long acting, so not really doing anything in the context of what I was doing. Yeah, it was frustrating because I could not eat, so I didn't have the fuel in the tank that I needed to perform well. And I also knew that hyperglycemia of that nature, always above 250, is a huge stress on the body. And I knew that I had to be really smart at managing the 2 big stressors that I had during the run, which were, first, of course, the run itself. 100 kilometers is no joke. And second, the hyperglycemia. So what I ended up doing was inserting more walking intervals than I expected. I actually added 2 hours to my target time, so I arrived 2 hours later, but that was okay. I needed to adapt in real time, not to to make sure to, at least I could avoid taxing my body too much, And my only goal at that point was to arrive crossing the finish line in a good state, physically. Of course, it was not easy because when your blood sugars are so high for so long, especially, your blood has the consistency, it's as thick as maple syrup, essentially, and so it's not going to the digestion, which is why I had stomach pain. It's not going to the muscles, the working muscles, which is why I could not produce any power with my legs. And ultimately, it was a really difficult equation to solve real time. Of course, if I had remembered to get an extra pen of rapid insulin, it would have been easier. At least I could have, have something to help me manage that. So a point for the next race is going to be bring an extra insulin pen, and probably this is also a good argument in favor of me considering switching to an insulin pump, which is not something that I'm using right now. I'm actually going to go back from where I came from, and so yeah, I mean, right now it's I'm sleep deprived, so I had a very small breakfast and my blood sugar still skyrocketed. you know, it was not even that much carbs. It was some cereal and then a lot of soy protein, soy yogurt, with no added sugar, so plain soy essentially. And still there was a spike, but that's because it's been 40 years, 40, come on, you see I'm tired, 40 hours since I last slept. And so yeah, I decided not to rest in any way. I actually tried to have like a nap, but I couldn't. Too much caffeine, probably. And so, you know, I just decided to go all the way to dinner time, and just hit the bed at my normal time, because then if I add sleep in the middle of the day, I screw up my night, my circadian rhythm. And so yeah, it's like having a jet lag, and I just want to sleep well tonight, you know. And so yeah, that's the recap of my 100k. Still, I got the finish line. I got to the finish line. I got the medal. I'm super proud of how I managed it, and most importantly, how I managed the inner dialogue with myself, because it was not easy to remain positive and to keep trusting in my ability to solve it, right? And so, somehow I did. I did not despair, and I did not make the situation worse with my own hands. I just did my best to handle whatever was thrown. I guess that's the lesson. So let's see. I will do this race again next year probably. And now I'm preparing for an Ironman, full distance Ironman later this year. So that will be a massive test again. Maybe I will get the pump through the summer. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, this was the experience, and still in a beautiful city in Tuscany. So they even gave me 3 bottles of wine, you know, as a participant. So I don't drink wine, but it's Tuscany wine, so you know it's good. So yeah, I'm happy to have shared all of this, to be in a good mood, in good health, to being, you know, recovering after all of this, and to have actually run an experiment that gave me some really good indications of things that I need to adjust, things that I need to be more aware of, and everything. So onwards always. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye.